going down. So it has negative slope. I'll slide in just a second so my recording can get all of this. So there's our pictures for positive slope and negative slope. Okay. And how we read it is from left to right. If it's going up, it's positive. If it's going down, it's negative. Okay. And then, oh, why isn't it full screen? There we go. That's a little better. You're welcome. I like looking at it. Why is it not full screen? Okay, questions on positive and negative slope? Are we okay? Do you need me to read it out loud for you, Paul? Can you read it?
Huh?
Do you need me to read it for you? Can you read it?
Oh, yeah, I can.
Okay. Kind of squinting a little bit. I wasn't sure. Okay. So then the next time, can I go on? Is everyone good? Or do you need me to wait just a second longer? Okay. Okay, so the next two that we're going to talk about is zero and undefined. So a zero slope. So remember, slope means, I'm just going to write here. Slope means the steepness, oh, that's spelled wrong too. My goodness, I can't spell today, you guys. The steepness, S-T-2-E, steepness of a line. Do you guys understand what steepness means? Who doesn't understand the word steepness? Okay, so like how high or how big a slant it has. Is that okay now? Okay, so if I have a slope with 0, how steep is my line? Right? If it's 0, does it have any steepness at all? No. So that means I could be here. It's a horizontal line. Goes through the y-axis. So if it has 0 slope, it means it's just a straight flat line. It's flat. It's got 0 slope. Flat. 0, 0 slope. Does that help a little bit? Okay. And then the other one we're going to talk about is the one that has so much steepness that you can't climb it or can't do anything with it, right? And it's called undefined. And it's so steep, it's vertical, it's straight up and down, right? So this is undefined slope. It's undefined because it's so steep you can't define it. So steep it cannot be defined. Okay? So it's undefined. Does that make sense? Okay. And if you came in late, I'll put the other two up there in a minute when we get done. Does that make sense? And so you can get the first two when we get done. Okay? Everyone good? Awesome sauce. This one of the undefined, so steep it cannot be defined. You're welcome. Okay, so here we go. So we're going to just start in the middle again with the what is slope. Well, slope is the steepness, right? We already kind of talked about that, but steepness of a line. Okay. Also, how do we find slope? Does anyone remember what slope is? It's what over what? Say it out loud. Why not? It's rise over run, right? So it's rise over run. And that, another way you can put it is the change. We talked about that. The change in what, is rise my y's or my x's? Rise is which one? Y or x? Y. So my change in y over my change in what? Run is x or y? X, good. So my change in x. And change in math, change, okay, means difference. So it means difference means I'm going to subtract. So that means I'm going to subtract this. Oh, what the heck is that? They let you keep your hat on?
Yeah.
Wow.
She's gonna leave her hood on too.
They wouldn't let you leave your hood on. I'm surprised they let you leave your hat on. Okay, so change means difference, which is subtract. So I'm going to find the difference or the distance between it, which we kind of talked about when we were finding the distance between points, right? How far it is between two numbers. So we're going to kind of talk about that. The change in y is how far it is between two numbers. Okay, so let's talk about first, how do we find it from a table? So I want to find the constant rate. So we're going to talk about a constant rate. Oh, that's not a con. That's a can. Constant rate. Sorry, I'm not spelling very good today. Constant rate of the x and y values. And then we write the slope as y over x. Okay? Yeah. Which we know that. Rise over run is y over x's. So I'm going to zoom in on my little tables. Is that okay? Yep, that's great. So I have my x value and I have my y value. So I'm going to say my x values first are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. And let's call my y values 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, and 12. Are we okay with that? I just made those. Where did I get those from? I made them up. Okay, I just made them up. Okay, what's the difference between 1 to 2, 2 to 3, 3 to 4, 4 to 5, 5 to 6? How do I get from one to the other? I add 1, right? Perfect. Okay, awesome. And how do I get from 2 to 4, 4 to 6, 6 to 8, 8 to 10, 10 to 12? What am I doing? Am I adding 2 or subtracting 2? Adding 2. Beautiful. So my slope on this one is y over x. So what's my y value? What's my y difference? 2. What's my x difference? 1. So my slope is 2 over 1. Done. That's it. Super duper easy. Okay, let's choose a different one. Let's try this one. Let's say, what if my x and y? Now I want you guys to figure this out. I'm going to make a table. I want you guys to figure out what the slope is, okay? Ready? So I'm going to say my x values are 3, 6, 9, 12, and 15. And then my y values are going to be 20, 16, 12, 8, and 4. Okay. You guys find out what. Okay. What's my difference in my x's? How am I getting from one term to the other? Plus 3. Beautiful. Plus 3, plus 3. Oh, my 3's are really ugly. How am I getting from 20 to 16, 16 to, what am I doing? Taking away 4. Beautiful. So I'm subtracting 4. So what's my slope of this line going to be? Huh? So my y is -4. What's my x? 3. -4/3. It's always y over x, okay? Does that make sense? Always, always y, right? Rise over run. Y over x. Okay? All right, so let's go to, is that okay with the table? Not too bad? We're okay with that? Okay, so now let's go to from a graph. I think you guys know how to do this one. This is pretty good. Okay, so from a graph, how am I going to find slope? I'm going to choose 2 points on the line. And then I'm going to count the rise and then the run. And write slope as y over x. Okay, so now I guess we need a line. So I'm going to pick a point here, a point here, a point here, and a point here, I guess. Do I need to wait for you guys to copy the line?
Ours doesn't have the
Yours guys doesn't have the grid? Yeah, just draw a line. It doesn't matter if you guys get the same slope as I, as long as you can figure it out, right? All right, BT is now here. We have 11 people here. Woohoo! Okay, so it says pick 2 points. So I'm going to pick this point just because I can and this point. Okay, I just picked 2 points. Doesn't matter which 2 points I pick? No. Okay? And then I'm going to make a triangle, right? So I'm going to make a triangle. Here's my triangle. And I'm going to count the rise. So how far am I rising? 1, 2, 3. How far am I running? 2. So my slope is written as, my y is 3, and my x is 2. And then is my line positive or negative? Positive. From left to right, it's going up, so it's going to be a positive slope. Okay? If it was a negative slope, I'd put a negative in front of the 3/2. Okay? You guys okay with that? That's it. You guys know how to do that. If they give me a what if they just gave me a triangle? So what if they gave me a right triangle like this, and they said this side is 7 and this side is 5, and they want me to find the slope of that? Could you do that? What would my slope be? What's my rise? Over. And is my line going to be positive or negative? What's it doing from left to right? Yep, it's going down, right? So from left to right, let me highlight that. From left to right, it's going down, so that's a negative slope. So it would be a -5/7. Does that make sense? You guys okay with that? Yeah, not too bad, right? So it doesn't have to I don't have to have a line. I can have a triangle and do the same thing, right? Okay. Awesome sauce. You guys are amazing. I think I want to go to here next. To the one that says from 2 points, because we've kind of already did this a little bit. Okay? So we're going to label the x and the y coordinates of my points that they give me. And then we're going to find the change of the y and the change of the x by subtracting. Okay? They just made too many words of this. And then write the slope as the change of y over the change of x. I'm going to show you how to do this. You guys are going to be amazed. You already know how to do it. I'm just going to tell you, you know how to do this. You guys are like, we don't, Miss Campbell. You do. I promise you. Okay? Are you ready? Do you need me to zoom in a little bit more? Okay. If I have the points, -4, 7, and -6, -4. There's my points, right? The first thing it says to do is label my points. So I'm just going to say x, y, x, y. Okay? And remember, slope is rise over run. So I'm going to do my y's first, right? Rise. So I'm going to do my y's over my x's. So how far between my y's? How far is it between 7 and -4? On the number line. How far is it between 7 and -4? Uh-huh.
Wait, which one?
7 and -4.
11.
11. Beautiful. Okay. And how far is it between -4 and -6? 2. So now this is the thing, right? Now this is the tricky part. On this part between -6, oh my Lanta. Okay, we need to watch our signs, right? So we have the distance. I know that it's 11/2. Okay, but I don't know if it's positive or negative. Does that make sense? I don't know if my line is positive or negative. So I can do this just really quick and make sure I know. -4/7 is somewhere up here. I don't even know if that's exactly where it's at, but it's somewhere over there, right? -4/7. And -6, -4 is somewhere over here. So from those 2 points, is it going to be positive or negative? What did I do? I did a quick sketch. So I can find out if it's going to be positive or negative. That's it. I didn't even put the points in the right place. Right? I just said -4 is here and -6 is here, and then my graph is going between them. It's got to be positive. So I just did a quick sketch. I don't have to figure out, I don't have to remember, oh, minus a minus is a plus, and oh my gosh, I forgot that this was a minus. I don't do that. You guys can count between the numbers, and then you just have to figure out if it's positive or negative by just doing a quick little sketch like that. Does that make sense? Are you guys okay with that? We're going to do it again. Okay? So if I do number 2, if I have another 2 points, and I've got 3, 0, and -11, -15. Woo! Okay. Again, we're going to do the y's first, right? And then the x's. So what's my distance between 0 and -15? 15, beautiful. And what's my distance between 3 and -11? 14. Okay, now I need to know if my slope's positive or negative, right? So I'm going to do a quick sketch. Where's 3, 0 at? Somewhere over here, right? And -11, -15, somewhere over there. What's my slope? Positive or negative? Positive. So my slope's going to be positive. I didn't even put my points in the right place. Yeah, it's negative and negative, so it's down here somewhere. And then 3 zeros right here on this line. Somewhere. Right? Does that make sense? I'll tell you, more times than not, you're going to get it right doing it this way. Okay? And then my next one, I'm going to let you see if you can get it right. So I've got 3, -20, and 5, 8. So you guys figure out if you... Okay, so let's see if you guys got it right. So I'm going to subtract my y's and subtract my x's, right? So what's my difference between -20 and 8? 28. Beautiful. And what's my difference between 3 and 5? 2. Okay, now I have to simplify this one. I'm not gonna lie, right? Because this 2 go into 28.
Yeah. Well, yeah.
How many times?
9.
How many? 14. 2 goes into 2 1 times, into 8 4 times. So that would be 14 over 1. And then if I just kind of graph it, right? 3 negative 20 is somewhere over here. And 5 8 is somewhere over here. So is it going to be positive or negative? Positive. Again. So one more for you guys to do. And it's going to be super easy. So 3 4. And 1 7. Oh, did you write too big? Right on the edge. There's some more people.
Some more. Yeah.
There's a few. Okay, so if we do this, right, I'm going to subtract my y's and subtract my x's, right? So what's the difference between 4 and 7?
3.
3. And what's the difference between 3 and 1? 2. And then I just quickly graph this, right? 3 4 is somewhere in here, and 1 7 is somewhere in here. So is my slope positive or negative?
Negative.
Negative, right? Because it went down this way. So it's negative.
How is that negative?
Huh? I'm sorry.
How's that negative?
How's it negative? So if I do this difference, right, it would be like 7 minus 4 over 1 minus 3. So that's 3 over negative 2.
Okay.
Yeah? Does that make sense? Or if I graph it, right, 1, I'll graph it more closely. So 1, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 is here, right? And then 3, 4 is here. So here would be the line right there. So from left to right, it's going down. Does that make sense? Yeah. Okay. So you guys can do that. Yes. Huh? Sure. Okay, so now we're going to do this one. And this is the one where I think you guys have the most problems at. And this is why I really wanted to do this over again. Because from an equation is where you guys have the most problem is. Okay, so solve the equation for y. I want to get y by itself. Slope is the rate of change. Sorry, I would have changed some of these, but it wouldn't let me. And therefore, it is the next to the variable x. The slope is the number with x. Number with x. It's called the coefficient. Okay, but it's the number with x. So in this case, it would only be the m, not the x. Okay? So we're going to do some super easy ones first. And I mean super easy. Super duper. So if this is my equation, y equals 1/2 x plus 4, what's my slope? 1/2. Yep, it's the number with x. So if it's already, y is already by itself, my slope is just the number with x, right? Are you guys okay with that? Okay, so what happens if I get a little bit harder? What if I say I have 3x plus y equals -8. Is y by itself? On the same side of the equal sign, is y by itself? No. Y is not by itself. See, y is here. Oh, why are you not highlighting? Y is here. Whoa. Y is here. Beautiful. Thank you. Thank you, highlighter. And on the same side of the equal sign, what do I have? I have a 3x. It's on the same side of the equal sign, right, as the y. So I need to move that to the other side of the equal sign. How do I move stuff? If I was timesing, I would, right, because it's times. But how do I do subtract because I'm adding, this is positive 3x. So I'm going to do the opposite of positive, which is negative 3x. So I get y equals, and does the negative 8 have an x? No. So I can't combine the 3 and the 8 together. I just write them right next to each other, done. Okay? It's just negative 3x minus 8. And I know that's hard for people to understand, but unless it's a like term, I can't add it together, right? Okay? So what's my slope here? What's the number with x? Negative 3. That's my slope. That's it. Done. M equals negative 3. Now it can get a little bit harder because what if I have, let's say negative 4x minus 3y equals 12. That's beautiful. That's a beautiful equation. Is the y by itself? No. What's with the y? Everything? Right. So let's talk about what I'm adding to it first would be the negative 4x, right? So I need to move the x to the other side of my equal sign, and how am I going to do that? It's a negative 4x, so how do I move that? I have to add it, right? I do the opposite. Plus 4x. So I'm going to add it to both sides of my equal sign. And I get negative 3y equals 4x plus 12. Now what do I do to the y? Divide by what? Negative 3. Good. And I get y equals 4 over negative 3x minus 4. Yeah, minus 4. So what's my slope? What's the number with x? 4 over, are you okay with that? Okay. M equals negative 4 over 3. Done. Okay, does that help a little bit? So now you have a little reference guide to help you with this next little part we're going to do. Okay, so I'm going to go to the directions as soon as everyone gets done writing. La 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 la. Okay. So it says directions. Cut out all 24 of your puzzle pieces. So your other page, right, has 3 pages, right? You're going to cut out the puzzle pieces. Those puzzle pieces do not go together, even though they look like they fit together, right? And then you're going to fit together the pieces that have the same slope. So you're going to have to find the slope for each of those cards, right? So once you cut them out, you find the slope for them. And then you match them with 3 other pieces that have the same slope. Does that make sense? So I'm going to go to because I want to point this out. My slope is either 1, 2, 3, 4, 0, or undefined. Do I have any negative slopes? No, I don't need to know if it's negative because it already tells me my slope is always positive, right? So I don't need to know that it's negative. So let's go to the first one here. I'll help you with the first one. So if I was doing this one, and I'm just going to find the slope before I cut them out, because it's easier to write on paper when it's not a mess, right? Not little teeny pieces. What's my slope of this graph here? So what I would do is I could look back at my graph paper, the one I did, right? This one. And I'd say, what type of slope has a horizontal line? I'm going to look at this piece, this side of my paper. Which one has a horizontal line? What's my slope? It's on your notes, honey. See this? This one, right? The notes you just took. Right, the graph. Did you not draw the graphs?
I wasn't here.
Oh, you wasn't here. I'll flip back to that page so you can see it. So which one of these has, what's my slope that has a horizontal line? The 0 slope. So this has 0, so m equal, I don't know why I wrote out 0. Let me fix that. I don't know what the heck I'm doing. I'm going to write m equals 0. Okay? So that one has a slope of 0. Then it doesn't matter which one I move to, does it? Let's go ahead and do this one. So what do I need to do first to get y by itself? I don't know. Which one are we going to do? I need to move the x. So what am I going to do to move the x? Add. Add 6x. Right? So I get 2y equals 6x plus 8. And then what am I going to do? Divide by 2. Beautiful. And I divide by it everywhere. So I'm going to come up here. Y equals 6 divided by 2 is 3x, and 8 divided by 2. So what's my slope? 3. Beautiful. It's this one right here. 3. Woohoo. Okay. Yeah? So now I've got 2 cards done. And then I'm going to go to this lovely little P here, letter P. And I'm going to do my difference in my y. So I've got 2 and... How far is it between negative 22 and negative 2? 20. And how far is it between 8 and negative 2? 10. And what's 20 divided by 10? 2. Now I need to know if it's positive or negative. Actually, I don't because it's already positive. Slope is 2. Nice little bit of information, isn't it? I know. And then we're going to go to U. And this is a table. So how do I do the table one? What am I going to do? Find my differences, right? So what's the difference between 8 and 8? 0. 0, 0, 0, 0. What's the difference between negative 7 and negative 6? And negative 6 and negative 5? And plus 1. Good. Because it's getting bigger, right? Less negative is bigger. So I'm adding 1. So what's my y? What's my x? Ooh, now this is a tricky one. What's 1 divided by 0? 0. And who has a calculator?
Error.
Error. So what kind of slope is error? Undefined. Okay, so I have the first 4 done. Do any of them match? No, of course they don't. So now I have to do the next set, right? Does that make sense? So I'm going to do the next set. I'm going to do the next set. I'm going to do the next set. And then I'm going to cut them out and put them together. And then you're going to glue them on a piece of construction paper. Yeah? Yes, no, maybe so. Awesome sauce. Yes, I'm going to go back there right now.